Hi, this is Michelle Harger-West, and this is my video reflection over Video 1 lesson. Today we read a story in our first grade class over If You Give a Pig a Party. And in the lesson I had students come over to the rug and bring their sock and dry erase marker, and we do that often, do activities on whiteboards. And I handed out whiteboards during the lessons. One of the things I did during the lesson to anticipate behavior issues, because we do have a lot of chatty kids in this first grade class. They're very fun, outgoing students, but they always want to share, is that to begin with I explained that I was learning from the teacher in the classroom to be a teacher myself, and that I was going to be using a recording device, and the teacher, Mrs. Gertz, was going to be recording me. So we introduced the students to that so they had an opportunity to see what it was. Most of them were familiar with an iPad, and we gave them the opportunity to turn around and look at it and wave at the camera, because being young first graders, I figured it would be very challenging for them to keep from turning around during the lesson to look at the camera. In the end, they did a very good job with that part of it, and I think introducing that was probably very beneficial because kids love to be center of attention, so that was helpful there. The students, we also talked about before the lesson, the recording got going, we used some movement to get them to the carpet. So I instructed the students to tiptoe to the carpet with their dry erase marker, and they're all assigned a specific dot on the rug so that they know exactly where they sit. We kind of arranged that because some students don't work well with others, so we kept that in mind as well for behavior management, as far as what students maybe would bother others, or others that were real chatty. So we either had to space them out, or they were just assigned specifically so that they would get along okay. In the second question, it says to discuss any classroom management challenges that arose and how you handled those. We have one student in particular that she really does like to share often, and she kind of has conflict issues with other students at times if things don't go quite her way. And you know, this happens with any first grader really. They want to talk, they want to share. We use the method of buy dollars in the classroom, where we give them $1 for pretty much anything that's a positive behavior, doing what they're supposed to be doing, trying to get them to establish rules and listen to the teacher or any adult, whether they're going to specials, PE, how they behave in the hallway or transitioning to the restroom, back to the classroom, and vice versa. So we use that a lot too, and it is beneficial. They save their money. They save up to $100. They can eat lunch with the teacher, and we also have buy days frequently, which, you know, it wasn't uncommon for students to receive between $5 and $10 a day. But it also is not uncommon for them to lose $1 or so on particular days, or multiple times a day depending on their actions. So while with some students that was beneficial because they learned real quickly that they didn't want to part with their money, others it didn't seem to faze them, and we had a couple students that we had to have some sidebar discussions with before lessons to say, okay, this is what we're going to accomplish, and clear rules and guidelines. A big thing is, you know, I would tell students that, I'm sorry, I can't call on you because you didn't raise your hand, even though they might have given the answer. And then I will in turn and say, thank you, Tayden, or thank you, Isabella, for raising your hand, and I allow them to give the information. So that was helpful there. The last question says, discuss how you would change your approach in future lessons based on what you learned from this teaching experience. I'm used to dealing with older students, so I'm learning every day about young kids, and how the basis is for them is to really follow rules. And that's very challenging for them because they're excited, they want to spend time with their friends, they want to talk. Recess is a big thing for them. So I think having a lot of movement in your lessons for young students, even if you end up being indoor for recess, and a lot of incentives. The buy dollars is a really beneficial thing. I think using more frequent maybe buy days so they can see, hey, this is what I have money to buy this, whether it's a piece of candy or a toy or something like that. That's very beneficial. Overall, I think the lesson went very well. I'm continuing to learn on a daily basis, and we'll see what happens when we get to the second video lesson for this semester. Thank you. Have a good day.